Hi guys, I'm Jamie and welcome to Sci-Fi Vision for the Librarians next chapter in the Illustrious live stream. Scarlet will hopefully be along momentarily, but I wanted to go ahead and get started. Thank you if you have come tonight. Please make sure that you like the video and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision and check out all our other videos on YouTube, all our live streams, that kind of thing. I put the Discord link in the chat. If you're not a member, please make sure that you join so you can get our schedule of watch parties and all our schedule of live streams and everything else. You can watch the watch parties on there. And then tonight after Librarians, which we're going to be talking about the season finale in a minute here, at 1 a.m., Scarlett and I will be talking about the season premiere of Wednesday. So yes, Wednesday on technically Friday, as we keep saying. We were saying Wednesday on Thursday, but today it's technically Friday. But starting next week, we will have it in the regular librarian spot that we're in right now. But yeah, so that's at 1. And then tomorrow at 11 is Revival. But before that, don't forget that at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we have special guest Jason Diaz from the Institute who'll be joining us. He plays Tony. The other thing I wanted to mention before I forget, here, give me 1 second here. I want to get this up. I don't think I have an actual date yet. But I am still taking questions for Simone Miller, who plays Kalisha, that you can send. But also, I'm going to be talking to Julian Richings, who plays Stackhouse on the Institute. I don't know yet if it's going to be live, but yeah, that's coming too. So lots of Institute stuff. And then I also have a junket coming up for that too. So lots of stuff. Hi, Jim. Yes, unfortunately, the last time this season. Hi, Muncher. Who else is there? Kimberly. Hi, welcome. I'm hoping Scarlett joins me. I don't know. She disappeared. But yeah, so I guess I will just talk about what I thought of the episode while I am waiting for her. I really liked this for, whoops, sorry, kick something. I really liked this for a season finale. I mean, I'm glad that we got the Gregor storyline wrapped up. I think everybody kind of knew that we would be getting it again because it's been kind of going on all season. But I like that it's over and wrapped up, and it was kind of just like a season-long thing, but that it did last all season. But at the same time, not something that's gonna go on and be belabored. So that was cool. And I like the way that they resolved that and how they used Excalibur, because that was awesome. I mean, I think if you've watched any of the original, you will remember when they had got Excalibur, and that was pretty cool. So that I like the way they did that. And then also, of course, that Jacob came back in this episode again. I hope they utilize him again next season. And I know there's going to be some other cast from the original next season, which will be cool. But yeah, I really like this episode. I think that it's also interesting that we got a resolution, kind of, I guess I'd say, on the Anya storyline, because now that her painting has vanished, been dissolved, whatever you want to call it. I think that's probably mostly over too, because I don't think Vikram's going to be trying to get back at this point, because he told her goodbye. He accepted his fate, that he's not going back, and now he has family there in Belgrade. So yeah, I did not expect that, and I like how they wrapped it up. And I do not know what is going on with Scarlett, where she went. Let me text her really quick. I don't know, she disconnected offline, so maybe her iPad is having issues. I don't know. We'll try to talk until then. Which also reminds me, next Thursday, or when we do Wednesday, we're going to be having a birthday show for Scarlett, because her birthday's coming up, and we're going to do some trivia for Wednesday, as well as she wants to do some Monster Mad Libs, and we'll probably do some From trivia maybe, yeah, for her birthday. So that'll be cool. But we'll have more on that once we figure out exactly what we're doing and I get it scheduled and everything. I know, Muncher, she's not here. I'm waiting. That's why I'm babbling and talking to myself here while I wait. I do not like doing live streams by myself. I'm not good at it. I mean, I guess I can do it, but I freak out. I don't like doing it. Let's see. Jim said, if I were writing this show, I'd bring Anya forward in time the wrong way and have Vikram forced to send her back. But then I'm cruel character. That would be mean. I would not do that. That's mean. But yeah, I do kind of question though that they could just leave each other that easily. I mean, I know they're sad, but like they're like, okay, this will work, and kind of went on about their business after that. But I do like that they resolved it. Well, I do not want to wait forever to start, but at the same time, I want to hear from Scarlet. But I guess I can just get into it, and when she shows up, I guess I'll pause if there's anything she needs to add, because I'm not sure how long she's going to be, and I hate to keep waiting too long. She's never this late, so I think something probably went wrong with her iPad, maybe. So we'll have to see. But unless anybody in the chat has anything extra about Librarians they want to mention while we're waiting. I'm hoping next season that we can get some guests on here, like I've said before, because of some issues with reps. I couldn't request anybody else, but it would have been nice, and I wish we had been able to, because they expressed interest. So we'll have to see maybe next season if we can do that. All right, so when we start out, Vikram, as you can see in that picture, has found out that the sword of Mars is still in the tomb of Attila. I think it is, isn't it? That's still in there. Yeah, I don't think it was Mars' tomb. I think it was Attila's tomb. Anyway, he found it in the tomb, and it had been left there when Gregor was there before. But Scarlet, we miss you. Yes, I miss her too. Hopefully she'll be along in a minute. But he knew that the sword was in there, and he, I guess, thought he had time to get it. But now that Gregor's out of the time bubble, the sword has been taken by him, the sword of Mars, and he doesn't know it till he goes in. But he uses the tuning fork, and he finds the harmonies, and it opens the tomb that's blocked. But he finds, once he gets in there, that the actual I don't know, sarcophagus, casket, whatever you want to call it, that it's empty. And the sword has been taken. We know it's by Gregor, but he does find a guitar pick with Gregor's hammer. So he knows that the group has been there and has taken it for whatever reason. I mean, he knows it's for Gregor. I shouldn't say whatever reason, he knows it's for Gregor, but that they're involved in it as well. That looks, I could see the little outline. That looks actually like they put a sticker on a guitar pick, though it's not printed on there. And it's called the Unfinished Business. Let's see, Jim says, and you know, I think I did say Jim before. I was going to say, I feel like the first time I read your thing, for some reason, I feel like I said the wrong name, but there's nobody else that said anything, so it must not have. I'm just losing it. When the sword first showed up in episode 1, did anyone talk about how it doesn't look like a sword from the Roman Empire? No, I don't think. I mean, I definitely didn't. I don't think Scarlet mentioned it. I do not know a lot about stuff like that, about historical things that I would even notice, to be honest. I do not remember as much of history as I should. So yeah, I wouldn't know. Some of the stuff I should know from art history, but the sword I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. But it's supposed to be from Mars, and like I said, Attila had it as well. But I guess it was originally Mars, since it's called the Sword of Mars. It originally belonged to Mars. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice like the design or that it was wrong. I didn't really pay attention, but that's a prop department thing. All right. So, in the unfinished business. So Vikram comes running in, and he's trying to tell everybody that, you know, there is unfinished business, which is, of course, Gregor. But Connor and I went too far to her. Connor and Lysa are getting ready to pack it in because the 6 months is over that they've been told they could stay in the annex. And then after they're at this point think they're going to have to leave because, as Mrs. Ocelot tells them, the main library is going to absorb the Belgrade Annex and it won't exist anymore. And Lysa is getting a little upset over that, but she's like, hey, but then you can sell the castle, you can, get your money you want. But clearly that's, that's not what they really want. They don't want to leave. And then there's like this whole part with Charlie looking at some of the weapons that she has that Vikram had given her the dagger and everything, and she's kind of reminiscing about that. And we also find out that Connor is going back to teaching. He's not allowed to mention magic, so he hasn't exactly been redeemed, but he's at least allowed to teach again, so he has something lined up at this point at least. But before anything happens, let's see. I don't know why Jacob comes in first, but Jacob, okay, yeah. See, Jacob comes in first, but for some reason, I don't have any pictures until Jacob after that Vikram was there. But Jacob comes in, and he tells them that he thanks them for doing everything that they've done, but that it's over, and they'll have a plane ticket in their bags. And they want to stay, but he says that the library decides who's going to be librarians, who's going to be who's going to be guardians, and it's up to the library. I kind of wonder they never asked the library, but I don't know. Maybe it's sentient, I guess, but maybe they can't actually talk to it. But either way, he intends that they're going to leave. But Connor asked about like using the door to go home, but she's like, no, you can't do that if you don't work here anymore. We think it isn't officially over. Yeah, he told Wayne, you're right, Mr. Jenkins sends a fond regard. And I wonder if that was like kind of, I know he's been in it in the original more than that, but it makes me think of the Camelot episode since, they had mentioned Jenkins being Galahad in the last one. So I guess she eventually did connect up with him. So that's pretty cool. I wish we'd get more of Mrs. Ocelot. I hope next season we do, because I really like her. She's awesome. Elaine, and I don't know, I'm trying to think, what is her, I have the wrong thing up, her real name, the actress, I know it is here. Carolyn Lonk, I guess you pronounce it. I really like her. I like her a lot. She's cool. All right. So he's telling them they gotta leave. Then Vikram comes in, and this is where he's like, rock, no, stone, same thing, or something like that, he says. But he's talking about that unfinished business, and he's going to tell him what happens. But then we have the pendulum going crazy and exploding all over the place, because there's a lot of magic happening, and it's all at the Capitol building. And I'm assuming that I don't know a lot about Belgrade. I'm assuming this is the Parliament building that they're filming in, because I know that Dean had said before that one of the things I remember him saying is that they had actually got to use the Parliament building. So I'm going to assume that's what that is, because it looks like what it probably would look like. Again, I don't know a lot about Belgrade, but that's still cool. It's a nice set that they got to, or I guess I shouldn't say set, location, if it's a real location. But anyway, magic is everywhere, all over there, the pendulum. And Vikram is like, that's what I've been trying to tell you, but they're not listening. So he just kind of takes off before they find out what it's going to be. I got to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. You can never sneeze just once, right? You always got to sneeze multiple times. And then it makes me cold when I go to my arrow. But Vikram runs out, and I love that Jacob is like, this is going to be a long, wait, where'd it go? He says something like, it's going to be a long day, isn't it? Because he knows that, long day, huh? That's what he says. It's going to be a long day, huh? Because he knows Vikram is, I don't know, did something that causes trouble. Okay, see, that's why we need the transcript. No more missions. No, don't run away from me again. This is going to be a long day, huh? He knows it. He knows Vikram has caused problems again. Well, this was a problem for him before, but still. All right, so she watches him leave, And then they go to the Capitol building where the president, and wait, let me see, there they are watching. There's the president of Caucasylvania, Caucasylvania, I think I'm saying that right, addresses everybody and says that he is stepping down as president, but not to worry because they have a new leader. Like, everybody's like, what the hell's going on, right? And you find out that it is Gregor, and he has his magical sword, and you can see there all the magic that's going through him. That I was thinking that it made people listen to him, but it doesn't. It just makes him able to, win any battle. They're unbeatable in battle, so everybody's more or less listening to him because they're scared. But yeah, this is what Vikram wanted to tell the stone if he'd listened. But yeah, they've got a big problem now. So they head back to the annex. And then this is where they talk about the Sword of Mars. And like I said, it makes the person unbeatable in battle. So yeah, they got to watch out for him. He's escaped the time bubble. And Jacob, like, wait, Stone, Jacob, gets upset, and he's like, you knew that this sword was here for 6 months and you waited this long to do it. And he starts yelling at him because he really just didn't know the incantation to get it out of there until now. But he's like, why didn't you do it? You're supposed to be, librarian, whatever. He's, berating him. And then Lysa's like, but you rescued him. You knew where Vikram was. You knew about it, and you didn't do anything either. So I like how she turned that around on him. That was cool. So yeah, it is just as much Jacob's fault in that instance, or at least we'd like to think so. Then I'm back in Caucasylvania. Yeah, I'm still saying that right. It just seems weird, like I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, I like that. You're right. You didn't know the incantation. You're in the annex to the library, man. Look it up. Yes, Vikram. He's not always the most prolific librarian, I guess. Or at least not to Jacob. He doesn't feel like he is. So, all right. Well, so we go back to Gregor, who has his sword, and he is with Gregor's hammer, which we already knew, the band. / they're calling them the Sorcerer's Brigade now. But he stores the sword into the safe, and he goes back out to talk to leaders again. Let's see. There we go, back at the annex. Jacob gets called, but first they're talking about why Attila's tomb was empty, and Jacob says that when the sword wielder is defeated, they're assimilated body and soul into the sword. So all of their power and their life force gets pulled into the sword after they are defeated not defeated in battle, we find out, but after they are defeated. But that's why its power keeps increasing, and that's why everybody's able to win with it. But they don't understand at first why, Gregor wants this little country. But Jacob's foe gets a call from Dosa, and they want them at the UN. And, well, they want him at the UN, and everybody else is like, we want to come too. So he agrees to let Vikram and Charlie come, but tells Lysa and Connor to research the sword. So they stay behind, and there's Scarlet. Hello.
Hi. My whole network went down at exactly 11 o'clock when I had to reset my router.
Well, that stinks. Sorry. I was like, where is Scarlet? I just finally started because I didn't want to sit here and sing to myself. So
I even sent you a SOS message, but it didn't go through.
It didn't go through now because I sent you a message. I figured something happened because you're never late. So
yeah, if I don't show up, it's definitely a tech issue. I wouldn't never, be late.
No, I know you wouldn't. I just don't like I don't know. I feel weird reading it by myself. I feel like I'm bored. People are listening.
I was trying my hardest.
No, I
said a bunch of stuff.
That's okay. So since everybody heard the beginning of what I thought, what did you think about the episode?
Uh, it was an interesting end. It was probably predictable that there was going to be a standoff with Gregor.
Yeah.
But I thought that Liza should have just stabbed him with a sword when she had a chance.
That actually is not a bad plan.
I kept waiting for that. I thought that's what was going to happen, but then I was like, just stab him. Love does it. Just stab him.
Yeah, they have to stretch it out. But I like though in a way that we got a face off between them. But I think I do agree. I think we knew that was coming, but I still liked that they did that. And Excalibur was cool, right? We got to see them whistle for that. I just got your message now. It just beeped. So it's it must have been your internet because you're saying you can't get in, and I'm like, you've already in, so that doesn't help. Oh well.
Yeah, when I pasted your link in the StreamYard, it wouldn't let me in. That was my first and then the rest was followed after that.
Yeah, well, you got in. That's what matters. But we're up to the point that they're going to are they going to the UN? What did I say? I read it, and I know that it's DOSA, but it's at the UN, right? No, it's not at the UN. Why am I thinking it's at the UN? It's in Caucasus. No, it is in the UN. Never mind. I'm like,
it's an alternative UN that has that country in it.
Yeah. Caucasilia is where Gregor is. This is at the UN. That's what I thought. Okay.
It sounds like a rash.
Yeah, it does. Jim says Dosa was surprisingly reasonable and competent in this episode. Yeah, I agree. She's like, you got to protect the library. So, yeah. But that is where I'm at. He is ready to go over to talk to Dosa. So if you have any specific comments before that point, let me know.
I don't think I do. Except I was hoping John Larroquette would be in this episode.
Yeah, it would have been nice, but at least they mentioned him, right? That's something, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder if they know, the new librarians know those people, because he was like mentioning Cassandra, and I was like, do they even know who Cassandra is, or do they keep up on that, like the new librarians?
Probably not. It's probably more for the audience. But yeah, he should have said our other librarian, but maybe
it's like, why does they keep on mentioning people we don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's inherent and they figure it out. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. They probably should say our other librarian. But I guess he figures they'll figure it out. So let's see. They get in, him and Charlie and Vikram. And this is where he does the whole I'm a librarian thing, and we get that joke a couple of times.
Yeah.
But here it works. I love that. I think it's funny. I mean, you can't overuse it too much, but it's still funny. And so they talk about that, and then Vikram wants to, let's see, I lost where was that. Jim says, I got the feeling Vikram's annex is very insular and doesn't encourage researching the library itself. Well, they also weren't intending to stay there very long, so that could be part of it too. Like they aren't bothering. I don't know, but we're going to assume that they have to know. But he talks to this woman who is Janice Copeland, and she tells him that the defense systems around in all the cities have stopped working. And he comes on their TVs to tell them that while the whole world, not the whole country, the whole world has no defenses, that Caucasilvia has long range nuclear missiles, which is why he chose that place. Although
that's a great picture of Gregor.
It is. It's on the TV too. But the only thing I have to wonder though is I guess they didn't really explain it. They hacked the systems of defense because as I was saying earlier, this sword is supposed to make him be undefeated in battle. So the things that he's doing, I assume, have to actually just be he's doing them right. Because I don't know if being defeated in battle means nobody can defeat him, period. So like anything he chooses to do, he's going to win. Or does it mean like only physically in battle? Because it's not super clear. So I assume like
Mhm.
he actually had somebody hack him and figured that out.
Oh,
But
I thought it was all powerful sword.
maybe. I don't know. It, like I said, they didn't really explain it. But at any rate, they have the only nuclear missiles. And okay, let's see. Jim said, I interpreted it as a sword of Mars took down the other country's defenses so he could
Mhm.
defeat them. Okay. Now that makes sense. I just, it didn't exactly explain what it did. That's why I said I don't think it's like making people want to follow him or anything. But I guess that's possible that it could make everything go right for him so that he doesn't have to deal with them. But either way, they have long range nuclear missiles, which is why he chose Caucasia. And he says that they have 12 hours to surrender and swear fealty, or he's going to shoot the nuclear missiles at all their major cities. So he's forcing all the countries to surrender. And they're like, what do we do? And then, well, you know,
Yeah.
so then they break
That
into
doesn't seem good.
it doesn't seem good, no. So they break into the Capitol building. Well, not break in, they go through the magic door, you know. But they come in and they have, let's see, they have 11 hours to get the sword from Gregor and get it back to the library. And then they hear him being nasty to everybody because he's like, I have to have black roses. Black to show our power. Roses
the rose
to
is
show our
black
love.
for me.
Lots of thorns. Yeah. And they
It kind of
notice that.
reminds me of the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, kind of. But he doesn't have the sword with him. So they're hoping that they can steal it. And Lysa has her magic detector that she's
see
had
the
before.
one that didn't make an appearance last episode, and you're like, where was that?
Yeah, when
Here
it
it
should have
is.
been, right? But this is where Jacob says that he's impressed how she scienced the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And that Cassandra, that's what you're talking about when he says Cassandra would love that.
And my response would be, who's Cassandra?
Yeah, they pray.
Is that your wife, your girlfriend? You know,
yeah, well, they assume
coworker?
viewers know, but you're totally right. They should mention him. But Jacob sends Connor and Lysa to go look for the sword, and they don't know, what they're going to be able to do. But they take their uniforms so that they can get in. Yeah,
as I'm standing there, they're on the floor.
Yeah, knock them down. And let's see. I'm sorry. I hate when I do it because once I start, I can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he's busy doing stuff with getting a flag, getting wine, setting up his. I don't know what he's setting up to who he's hosting, but whatever, he's making it look the way he wants.
It's party.
His party, yeah. And they're meanwhile trying to figure out where the sword is. And they, this is where Lysa's like, he wanted a black rose in there, but she gets him to open it so they can see the safe is behind the door, and they're gonna try to get in. But then the ones who they took the uniforms from are like, I love that picture of that guy on the left. He's like, oh.
I like how they have some kind of utilitarian underwear that they put under their suits as well. That's for both sexes.
Yeah, I think that must be a TV thing because it seems funny they both dress like that.
Yeah, they both have the same thing underneath.
Yeah. Oh well. They knew they were going to get their uniforms stolen.
Mm-hmm.
But they know where the safe is there now, but they got to run. And okay, so Gregor's doing the wine tasting, and he's mad about. Oh, this is where he says that I lost where it is, but basically he says that they're going to send off the missiles whether the country surrender or not, because he wants to show his strength. And clearly, like, I don't know, I thought this guy was like brainwashed by him and maybe wasn't super evil, but like the fact that he's like, oh, you're just going to bomb all the countries, millions of people will die. Yeah, this guy that I can't remember his name, he's not a good guy. It's
very metal.
Yeah, it's very metal.
Winslow.
Winslow, yeah, that's right. And he's like, you're gonna kill all these people. Oh well.
It's very black metal.
So
It's very,
yeah,
for the cause.
yeah. So
Rad.
yeah, not so rad if places get bombed though. But they hear him and they're like, we got to go tell Dosa what's going on because that's their plan is to, I guess, surrender. And he does. Then there's like this one guy and he does the I'm a librarian thing and it doesn't work. Which isn't good, but that's, like I said, that jokes a couple times in the episode, and Charlie just punches the guy, but they get out of there. And then they get back to the annex, and Jacob gets another call from Dosa and is asked to meet her. And Charlie tells him, make sure you tell him that he's going to bomb everybody. And then they stay back to try to get information, and they look up about the sword finally, because they have this conversation of when they're reading it that they're like, we know that when somebody's defeated, their essence goes into the sword, but if they're undefeatable, how do they get defeated? So that's what they're trying to figure out. And they find out that each time this person who had it was beat, it's because they were quote unquote defeated by love.
Well, Mars and Venus getting it on, and Vulcan creating a net and throwing it over them.
Yeah, Mars was.
And then it was Attila the Hun on his wedding night that had a night of pleasure and enjoyment, and his wife stabbed him.
Yeah, he was too drunk. He was drunk, and they found him dead. She had stabbed him, so they could get close enough. So Vikram says that it protects from all forms of attack except love. So that's when he gets this bright idea, and he's like, "You are going to dress up."
He's like, and he's like looking at the painting and pointing.
An idea. He's like, "You are going to dress up as Anya and make Gregor fall in love with you, or well, I guess he already does love Anya, but get him to believe that you're her, and then you're gonna kill him because he won't recognize that it's an attack. Although they don't know yet that she has to." Literally be the one that takes it. They don't know yet. But
she should have stabbed him with it. That's my whole point.
Should have. But he's gonna teach her how to be proper, like
White Fair Lady.
Yeah,
there's
it is
a lot of
White
Fair Lady references in this.
Yeah, it is. She
like Anya.
Well, she mentions it too. She says something like, "If you're gonna reign in Spain me," or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the one time she says in a Cockney accent, it's "Blimey," like "Blimey, I'm Anya Vanson" or something like that. That doesn't sound remotely British. Cockney, fill it in.
Yeah, like no, it's French, Besson. So yeah, but he helps her with the accent, and Charlie did her hair and everything. And when she comes out,
Charlie does some great like hair work as well as being an action hero.
Yeah, I know, right?
Multifaceted.
But she comes out looking exactly like Anya, which we already knew she looked exactly like Anya.
And we knew this was going to happen somewhere in this.
Yeah, it's interesting how ancestors on TV look exactly the same, so they can be played by the same person.
Yes, of course.
In real life, usually ancestors don't look that close. And I think it was interesting too, because part of me questioned at this point, now we know it because it's a TV show and things go the way they do, but technically, how do they know that she isn't Gregor's? I mean, that Gregor isn't her ancestor as opposed to Vikram.
Anya we don't know. All she has is that baby. We don't know who the baby daddy is. She's assuming
it was Vikram's, but I'm just saying.
But it could be.
I found this scene a little weird though, because I feel like he's looking at her and seeing his lost love, but yet it's also like his great granddaughter, and it's just really awkward to me. And I don't think it's meant to be, and it's not. They didn't do it awkwardly. I just felt awkward because
it was awkward.
He's looking at her like, "Oh, you're the woman I love, and get it on with, and you are my great granddaughter." It's just weird.
I made sweet love too, and now she has my baby. But yeah, you look just like her. Cool.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Not weird.
Especially because some people had commented about shippiness and chemistry and stuff at the beginning of the season, so it's a little weird. All right. Jim says that License says, listen, Henry Higgins, you want to start Rain and Spain and me, and I'm gonna forget the whole thing. So yeah, the Rhine and Spain. I don't know what the accent is.
You
Rhine
see,
and
you're sounding
Spain,
southern. I
maybe
don't know what my accent sounded like, but at least you sounded like something.
I don't know. I don't remember what the accent in the movie sounds like. She's trying to do
It
American
says
in the movie, right?
Cockney. No, it's Cockney. She's British. And he's trying
Right.
to make her do like the Queen's English, like very proper
Okay.
English.
I
And
couldn't
she's
remember. I
Cockney.
was thinking for some reason she was trying to be English.
Like
Or American. I don't know why.
what she said, street urchin. Like a street
Yeah,
urchin
the
Cockney
Rhine
accent.
and Spain falls mainly on the planet. I'm not doing it right, but
You're like all doing
anyway.
southern. The Rhine and Spain.
Yeah, that is Southern. Why am I thinking that it was American
You're like
though?
doing
Unless
like a
I
Maine
thought,
West.
yeah, I was gonna say unless maybe there's also like a newer version that's not British because I feel like I don't know why. I feel like the one
Well, you
and I
know,
know the one I saw was old.
it's inspired by Pygmalion, so Pygmalion
Yeah.
probably has a ton of different variations.
Yeah, so I might be thinking about a couple different ones, but I know I've seen that one too. It was like the original. I remember seeing it. We saw it in high school for something. We were probably reading Pygmalion actually. That was probably why we saw it. But I remember that. But yeah, it's a good story. Yeah, and obviously that
My
kind
Fair
of
Lady's
thing.
kind of weird though, but I mean nothing that we should like just
What?
that's the way she's treated in that movie is just kind of like okay, and then she ends up with the guy anyway, and it's like what?
Yeah, I don't remember that many details. It's been a long time. But
You
they've had that.
you just want her to open up her flower store and not think about any dudes and just have her flower store and have a sense of agency.
Yeah, well, it's
Eliza
probably all about the
Doolittle,
romance.
that is.
Yeah, Liza. Hey, and her name's Liza too. That's funny.
Yeah. See what the writers did there.
I like that he says if I had any idea what you're talking about, I'd reply with a Woody report. Yeah, of course he would.
Because he doesn't know what My Fair Lady is. He would know what Pygmalion was, though.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, it was My Fair Lady that I saw. That's what I see. Jim said it's because Elaine said so. Elaine said that Liza is Vic's descendant. Vikram's descendant. I guess my point is though, like, how does she actually know other than Anya said it's his baby. I'm just saying. It sounds like she was sleeping with both of them, so I'm just saying.
Sure, it's yours.
Yeah, no, I know that's the point. And like I said, it's a TV show, so you gotta go with it. But yeah, he dances with her and that as he tries to help her, and yeah, it's a little weird. But he tells her about her, says that because she's nervous, he says it will work. He says that she was sophisticated but impulsive and
whimsical,
and I forget what else. Yeah. So then we switch to Jacob here, who's talking to Janice Copeland. And this is where she says that nothing that they have in the registry for the library could defeat the Sword of Mars. So he needs to shut down the library before Gregor can take it over. Now, I have to question this here because he says, can't we use an artifact from the library? And she says, oh, we've gone through all the whatever, the archives or whatever, and they have nothing, right? So how the hell did he get Excalibur to work with nothing knowing about it? I have a problem with that. Like when they went and researched it, it should have popped up Excalibur, but I don't know. I guess they can't use Google to figure that out. I don't know, but I thought it was funny because she's like, yeah, none of the artifacts will work, and then he goes and gets an artifact. So yeah, he's smart enough to figure it out. He's smarter than her apparently.
It's on the list of secret artifacts.
Yeah, but also they're also out of time too, I guess. So maybe that makes a difference. But she's like, you've got to disconnect the library from our reality to protect it and the artifacts. Remember, Dosa is stupid. That's the answer. Dosa is stupid. Yeah, clearly. All right. So Liza goes to his ball. I'm still not sure. I guess the ball is just for like that the dignitaries of that country or something. I don't know if they ever explained it. If they did, I missed it. But other than it was an excuse to have a party, excuse me, and it made sense for her to get in that way. But anyway, she is pretending to be Anya. She's got an earpiece in talking to Vikram so she can know what to say to him. And he tries to help her and he doesn't believe her at first. and he says, asks what she says that, let's see. She says, Vikram brought her through time using black necromancy. And he's like, I saw you through the scrying glass weeks ago, and you were still, I guess he means she was still there, because he says, so you aren't Anya. And she says, she's been there, I guess she's saying the whole time, and that she thought she was somebody else. So I guess she's saying like, oh, I thought I was Lysa. So that way it actually kind of makes sense that he can't catch her in a lie, which was smart.
It'd be funny if he used the glass and she had the baby and she's like, look, it's your baby.
Yeah, you don't know. She may tell everybody it's their baby. Who knows? But she's like, I was under Vikram's spell until you I saw you, and as soon as I saw you, the spell was broken.
It's broken.
And and she says, now I'm here and I can bear your children or not.
Or we could adopt.
Or like, you're gonna have my children? And she's like, or not. She doesn't know if he wants it.
No, I thought that was a selling point for Gregor.
Yeah, I don't know. He was kind of.
I will bear you many sons.
Yeah. But Vikram tells her to appeal to his vanity. And that's why she does it. And then she steals the key out of his pocket, which I don't understand how she didn't get caught and why he didn't get upset when she put it back. That didn't quite track me. But anyway,
I think he didn't know she put it back because it was in a top pocket.
He handed it to her. I thought she said something like, I felt the key in your jacket or something like that. But
yeah, she kind of slyly put it back in the top pocket and said, I felt it there, and picked it out. And I don't think he noticed because he didn't check that pocket.
Yeah, he's not smart to figure it out, I guess. But they climb in with the key that she gave to
He's in love.
Connor. Yeah. And they try to open the safe, but it will not open. Vikram does that a lot because, like, he makes.
He's like does the horns. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
It's not even midnight yet. I shouldn't be in a weird mood. But anyway, he says that whenever their sparks go off when they try to open it, and he says that the sword's defenses must only be down for the person that one who has a sword, the person they love, like they're the only ones that can defeat them. So she has to be the one to steal the sword. And let's see. So then we go back and they got to give the key back to her. And she's like, oh no, what do I do now? What do I do now? He's going to kill me. And Charlie's like, I'm your guardian too. And I'm going to protect you. And you're doing fine. And then Gregor comes back, and I have to give it to him for being smart enough to try to come up with like they do that in a lot of shows where it's like, ask them something only they would know type of thing.
Only Gregor's test would have to do with alcohol, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
The true test. Yeah. Name what's in this alcohol I brought you.
Yeah, here's
this cocktail.
What is in this drink? And she knows what it is because her grandmother used to make it at Christmas. I think she said
bitters.
Yeah, bitters,
cognac, absinthe.
Sugar. Which I'm kind of surprised her family recipe has absinthe, but
well, that's Sazerac has absinthe, so it's like the.
Yeah, I know.
It's the city cocktail. I wouldn't say national cocktail, but the city cocktail of New Orleans. Maybe the state cocktail of Louisiana.
I don't know. I just think it's funny that would be your family recipe, is something with like that with absinthe. I don't know.
Interesting. So it feels like there's a New Orleans bent, or maybe she is French. Maybe there's a French bent in that.
Yeah, I don't know. Jim said it's a really good thing that nobody showed Gregor the evil overlord list before he launched his attack. As I say, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that.
It's good. Have you ever had one? A Sazerac? They're good.
No, but I've had absinthe. I think I had told you about at the press tour when I had the absinthe that made me very, very, very drunk, very, very fast. I was trying to get back up to my room and I was not walking quite straight. That stuff is strong. I don't drink a lot, so I was like gone. And I know there probably wasn't that much in it, but for me, because I didn't really drink, it was it was definitely enough. But it was good. I liked it. I probably drank more than I should have because I liked it. But it was their defined signature drink that day.
Yeah.
So let's see. Vikram asks her how she knew about it being a Sassenrock, and that's where she says, "Oh, it's a family recipe. My grandmother used to make at Christmas." But he believes her, and he's like, "Anya," and he tells her, like, they talk, and she says something like, "It's too bad you don't have the sword like you wanted before," just to trap him. And he's like, "But I do," and she's like, "No, you don't. Prove it to me." So she's like, "I have to see it with my own eyes." So he's gonna take her to go see it, and that's where she takes the key and like had it and sort of faked it. But he opens the safe and he takes it out, and she's like, "I gotta hold it," and then makes up some bullshit about how it represents love. I think I forget exactly what she says, but she makes up something so he'll let her hold it. And then she's like, "Close your eyes," and I'm thinking this guy is really dumb, but I guess he's in love with her. So
and I was thinking she's gonna stab him with a sword. She's gonna stab him with a sword, and then she didn't.
She's not that kind of person. She's not gonna kill him. I question though, like, didn't she kind of technically already defeat him? Like, did she even really have to? Because like as soon as Vikram won, like he disintegrated. So I have to kind of question, like, supposedly they could only be beat from love. Now he was defeated because I guess Excalibur is better than the Sword of Sword of Mars. But she technically already beat him because she took the sword. So I'm kind of surprised that he didn't just like disintegrate on the spot. To me, that's what should have happened anyway. But okay,
I don't know. Maybe it just opens them to be weaker.
Yeah, I don't know. To hold the sword is your soul, your heart. You wouldn't deny me your heart now, would you? Yeah, some bullshit to get
Should
the
have
sword.
totally stabbed him in the heart with that thing.
Yeah, this is some bullshit.
And then she pulled it out and his heart was on the end, and she's like, "Now I have your heart."
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Jim said he looked at it that Vikram won because Excalibur, because he was fighting for love while Gregor was fighting for conquest. See, I didn't. Yeah, that makes sense, but I didn't pick up on that. I just assumed Excalibur was better than the Sword of Mars. And Vikram's better
defeating the purpose of the Sword of Mars in the first place.
Yeah, I missed that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you thought more about it than I did, Jim. So good. That's good. But either way, she's like, "Close your eyes," and of course he's dumb and he does. So she sneaks out and they lock him in, and he's like, "Let me out, let me out." And she's like, "I got the sword." And then of course, like, all the security guards are in there, and she had like no chance, And then he gets out and he calls for the sword, and it comes to him, and they're like, "Oh no." So Vikram's like, "I'm going to challenge you to a duel," basically. That's not exactly what he says, but essentially he's like, "I'm going to fight you, and you're a coward if you don't." So of course, he's going to fight him because he said that. And he's got his sword and his walking stick, and he's got to get a new one. He's really got to replace that now because it's like in pieces because it he swipes it and it breaks his blade. And then right before he can kill him, Jacob comes and he's like, "Look what I got." He's like, "This is not a fair fight." And I like, see, they brought the joke around again though too, in a way, because he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm just a librarian." So he doesn't suspect him. They never expect the librarian, right? I don't know why I'm thinking in my head here. They never expect the Spanish Inquisition. That's what's in my head right now. Yeah, they never expect the librarian. So he's like, "This will make it fair." And he's like, gets Vikram to whistle, so he gets Excalibur to come to him, and now he can fight with it, and it's a little more fair. I must be going really fast. I think it's because I went through a good portion of it while you weren't here. That's probably
You're just like, ah.
Well, it's hard when there's nobody to kind of talk, off of why I'm doing it. Yeah. So if you have anything to add, please do. So they have a sword fight, which was cool. I like the sword fight. I mean, they were having a sword fight before, but now he's winning, so it's better. But
he doesn't have that flimsy cane sword.
Exactly. But he fights him, And yeah, that does make sense though, because what Jim was saying, because that's a cool shot there. As they're battling, he does tell him that where'd it go? That he was in love with Anya and she loved him. So he's like kind of not paying enough attention. And that's when he ends up disarming him, and he's like, I win. And then he's like, are you going, I think he asked him like if he's going to kill him or something like that. And he's like, I don't have to, because you use the Sword of Mars, which consumes its wielder once they're defeated. That's a good shot. And so he's like, oh, and then he gets sucked into the sword. And thankfully they did keep continuity, and at least Jacob picked it up with a cloth, so he didn't touch it.
Ah, smart.
Yeah.
Why do I think that could become a plot point later when he escapes the sword?
Yeah, well, since he held it that way, I guess it's okay. Now
back. No, Gregor escapes the sword somehow.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know about Sword of Mars, but I guess we'll have to see. But they get back to the annex, and they're going to send. He's got to send Excalibur back, and he does explain also that the Excalibur is a guardian as well, and they thank him, and he says they did a good job. And Vikram, I'm too far. Let's see. Vikram asks him if he would let them stay together, and he says it's not up to him; it's up to the library. And I say again, they should have asked before. Yeah, but the lights go like blink, and I don't have a picture of it, but Mrs. Ocelot and Jacob look at each other, and they know, they're like, oh, and then he's like, you should probably check your plane tickets. And they take them out, and it says, you have been, I don't know, I didn't take a picture.
Cordially invited to the
Metropolitan Library. Yeah. So yeah, they've been officially invited. And I have to say, I am very happy that they did this, because I had been saying earlier in the season, like, it wasn't cool that they never explained whether they were librarians or not. And that they needed to, say that definitively, and they did. Jim says, I love the idea that Excalibur is a guardian. Does that mean though, like, it's just like literally a guardian, or it has like the essence of, Arthur in it, or King Arthur in it, or something that's a guardian? I don't know. I'm interested to find out, but
or the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah, or maybe the Lady of the Lake. Great. Jim says, checking the tickets was a callback to when Stone was chosen to be a librarian in season 1 of the original series.
Yeah, I like that it called back. I thought it was nice.
That's cool. Yeah, I like it too. But now they have it for sure. They checked their tickets, and now they know that they have been invited officially. And he says that let's see, he says that their ability to protect the library secrets has been seen, and he says the lies of her passion's been recognized. She learned to appreciate the past and also protect it in exchange for riches, because she didn't take that money or whatever for the castle. And he says it's a more noble cause, and she did the one thing that only a true librarian could do, save the world. And then they talk about how Charlie has always been a guardian, that the library is just waiting to put her in the right place, which is here. And he says that they'll have a life of mystery and misery, of loneliness and adventure, but most importantly, a chance to make a difference and to save the world every day of the week and twice before Friday. And yeah, of course they all say yes, because like, who wouldn't, right? It's like when people don't want to go off with the doctor, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you have to accept the mystery, or like, where else 13 is like, you want the mystery.
I was trying to figure out when TNT re-showed repeats, and I wondered if they showed 2 repeats for Friday.
Maybe. Well, it's on. I don't know, what day of the week is it on. See, I watch it on screener, so I don't see what
it's either on Monday or Tuesday. I think it's been on some Mondays and some Tuesdays.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe that was repeats. Who knows? But either way, they are all going to be librarians. And he's like, I can stay, can't I? Vikram asks. And he thanks him and he says yes, that he doesn't have to be reassigned as a relic, as what he
Oh,
says.
good for him.
Yeah. Back on because they before
Be on
kept
the
saying
shelf.
like put on the shelf. Yeah. They were at one point showing 2 episodes per week. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I remembered all the details. I just don't.
So what happens now is that Anik disappears and they're going to go to the Metropolitan Library, or are they staying here?
I think they're staying here. I was confused why they called it
because they are shooting the second season in Eastern Europe. So I'm assuming
it's not shot in Serbia.
It's shot in Eastern Europe. Serbia's in Eastern Europe.
Oh, well, I don't know. But I mean, they're still shooting, I think, in the same place, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it wouldn't be in New York.
Well, I don't. Oh, that is true. They did say New York, didn't they? I don't know. Because I was kind of confused why it said Metropolitan, because I was thinking that isn't right, but I just didn't think too much about it. I guess I didn't think too hard. But
yeah, because she said in the beginning the annex would just disappear, and I thought, are they just going to get integrated now? And
well, I assumed the annex was going to disappear if they didn't stay. I mean, that was how I took it.
Yeah.
They'll stay in the annex with access to the main library now that they're reauthorized.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's what she says.
They didn't say that in the letter.
Yeah, they should have been a little clearer. But anyway, he says that he'll get to be a librarian now as long as he doesn't hide any more artifacts, which, of course, Vikram still has an artifact. He's like, I have this scrying glass. Whoops. Yeah, and he says, I'm going to put it back, but I got to do one thing first, which thankfully he let him do. And he opens up a little portal in the painting, and he's like, I'm telling her goodbye. He says that he can't see her again because she asks if he's dead, and he says he's not dead, that he speaks from beyond time, but he can't return to her. And he's sorry that he left her alone. He didn't want to. And then this is where she's like, this is sad. This is where she's like, but I'm not alone. I have a kid. It's yours.
This is Gregor's baby.
Yeah, maybe. But she's
or yours. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be his. And she's like, you have a son, which he kind of already knew he had a kid. And then she's like, who is this? Person that looks exactly like me.
Yeah, that's messed up.
I know, like she had to know she was an ancestor. He's like, this is my great. Yeah, maybe it's her new stand-in. It's her great granddaughter. Or, I don't know, maybe one less great. I'm not sure, but anyway. I
think there was 5 grades.
Yeah, and then they show everybody, and I didn't get a picture of everybody, but so anyway, yeah, they are going to.
But then after he's done talking to her, her painting disintegrates. But Gregor's painting didn't disintegrate when.
Yeah, I didn't quite.
What's his nuts was talking to him.
Went away unless it just is so they can't bring it back and talk to her again.
Their story is over.
Yeah, because I'm not sure why it disintegrated. I mean, we don't know how he got the painting, why he had it made. Maybe it had to be a special painting. I don't know. But I mean, maybe.
Oh, I thought it was just in the castle. Because
I thought it was too. The only thing I can think is maybe Gregor stayed because he was in the time bubble when he looked into it. I don't know. But it does disintegrate and disappears, so he can't talk to her again that way. And then, oops, not yet.
And then this stuff happens.
Yeah, the pendulum goes back into one piece, and they're gonna see where they gotta go. So then we see out in the woods. We see,
but not only that, we get narration from Merlin too, and I'm like, where is this? I don't remember where this is in the library. I'm sure it's connected to Camelot somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And like I said, I assume that he was played by somebody else because he says, this is not the end of the story. Does the story ever truly end? Old characters leave the stage and new characters step into the light. Sometimes old characters return. You may not recognize us at first, but you know my name. So I assume that means I was played by
a new Merlin then.
And then he's like, I am Merlin. And
played by another actor.
But he cracks out of the tree and there he comes out, Dominic Monaghan. Da-da-da! Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's awesome. We're getting more Camelot stuff next season. So maybe we'll get, well, I was going to say some more time travel, but I guess he came forward, it seems like. So I don't know if they will. I saw, I don't know if it was a preview or a picture or something. It showed him with them. So it seems like he's going to, I don't know. It made me think he might be a bigger part of the season, but I honestly don't know. But
yeah, the featurette afterwards showed everybody was going to be in the next season, and including some people I didn't think would be in the next season.
Okay, see, I didn't see the featurette. I didn't. It wasn't at the end of the video that I had. I'm gonna have to look on my DVR and see if it's there. Well, before we go through who's joining, because I know some people maybe don't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no. But is there anything else? I'm trying to. What's the betting that Merlin was a librarian? Probably. I mean, yeah, why not? It makes sense. Merlin's Merlin, but also connected to Camelot. So maybe the new Jenkins, who knows? But I'm just like, yes, Dom Monaghan. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's good. But yeah, what is there anything else? Yeah, I don't know. Did we skip anything? I think, like I said, I think this was good for a season finale. I'm glad we already know that it's coming back. That's great. I mean, it sucks we gotta wait. But we did get 12 episodes, which was a good amount. We don't get on a lot of things. So I have to say, you know, I really appreciate that. That we got more than maybe we would have otherwise. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else about the finale? So we know, I think we know everything. Like there isn't really any, I don't know, open loose threads. Is there that were questions we had? I mean, there was the stuff with Anya, which they wrapped up. The stuff with Gregor, which they wrapped up.
Yeah.
I don't think there was really anything else.
I don't think anybody else has any secrets.
Yeah. We found out about Mrs. Ocelot. So yeah, I feel like they did a good job with like a self-contained story of the season. And yeah, I don't really think that there's any much else. Jim, want to think spoilers. That's fine. You can skip it. That's why I was waiting to see. Yes, we'll see you in the library. And hopefully we'll see you again next season, Jim. And you know, just
you've been so helpful. He's been so helpful with the script stuff. Like if we need something in the script.
Yes, you have been very helpful. So thank you for that. We appreciate it. But hopefully we'll see you maybe again at one of our other live streams or
if you like Wednesday, just wait an hour and then we'll be on again with the Wednesday.
Yes, we will be on at Wednesday. But and we'll also, the other thing is, if you're still around, Jim, once the arc, I don't know if you just like the Librarians or you like, you know, Dean Devlin with the stories. I don't know, but we will be covering the arc on our Tuesday show once it starts back up again, which we did last season. So yeah, if you like that, you can come back. But either way, yes, we have Wednesday tonight and Revival tomorrow. Okay, well, I guess we
are you doubling up on Revival?
Yes, we have 2 episodes of Revival this week because we skipped last week, so we got to do 2 of them tomorrow. All right, well, I guess we might as well go through the list for people who want to hear it. If you don't want to be spoiled with who is coming to the show, we'll give you a second to get off, but I think it was just Jim that was waiting. So, yeah.
I saw Luncher Muncher on there.
Yeah, no, yeah, there's some people in the chat. I just meant nobody, I don't know if they care about spoilers or not. So we'll give everybody a second. But yeah, there's quite a big cast list. All right, well, let's talk about it. So we know obviously Dom Monaghan's in it. That's a duh. I had found out, I saw it like pop up everywhere.
Oh,
about Lindy Booth, that she's.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that she was the last one was on the list. They showed all these people, and I was like, oh, good, Cassandra's coming back.
Okay, well, that's the one that was like advertised like there was articles everywhere about it.
Oh, there was? Because I wasn't sure if that was just kind of a one-off thing, but maybe everybody got excited about it.
Well, they probably all put the press release or whatever up. I did not see it until people started posting it, but that was the one that was like the headlines. Who, like we said, plays Cassandra, so that'll be cool to see her again. And also Christian Kane again, but I think we kind of figured that.
No John Larroquette.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say John Larroquette. Doesn't mean he won't be there. There also will be Ty Tennant, who, as I said earlier, we're in the chat, is David Tennant's son. That's the only thing I know, but he is from House of the Dragon. Flula Borg from The Rookie. I don't know who this is. I'm reading TV Line. This is their list. Alan Emrys, who is from Young Wallander. Malcolm Sinclair, who's from Andor. Reese Ritchie, who's from The Ark. We know him. We had him on our show. You didn't, but me, Karen, and AJ, I had him on the show. Kat White, who's from Threesome. Glendisa Arthur is from EastEnders. A lot of these are like not Americans. That's why I think some of them we don't know. Jack Cunningham Nuttall is from Loki. And Danny Rhea, how do I say it? Luca Divac and Alex Henry. And that must not be all of them, because I know also Josh Gates, and I don't see him on this list. Josh Gates is going to be there. Josh Gates is from what's it called? Discovery Truth? I forget what it's called. I do not remember the name. He's been in a lot of different shows, and I'm getting them mixed up. He's in Expedition Unknown now, but I knew him from Destination Truth. That's what I was trying to say, Destination Truth. I've talked to him a couple times. He was at the press tour, but yeah, he does different expeditions on things, and so that could be interesting. I wonder if he's playing himself. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, he's like goes on different. He's an archaeologist, and he goes to different places and investigates things and talks to people and does a lot of fun things and tries to find the truth. And yeah, also let's see, Expedition X. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff that he's done. But that's the one that I knew. Besides Lindy Booth. And yeah, like I said, David Tennant's son. I recognize the name, but that was about it. So yeah. All right. Well, unless you have anything
which makes me think there's probably going to be scenes in New York, right? And also at the Annex.
What makes you say that? Because of Cassandra.
Well, because I think they're going to go to the Metropolitan Library for maybe an episode or something.
Yeah, maybe. That's true. They could be. But then wouldn't we see more than just her? I guess it depends who they want to pay, maybe.
Jenkins is off just having lunch somewhere. He doesn't really care that much.
He doesn't come in.
And the other guy, the Australian dude, I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, they only come in on Saturdays. I don't know.
Zeke just didn't want to. He was tired. He went home and took a nap.
Probably. And Noah Wiley's, maybe he's overdoing Leverage. Who knows? But either way, yeah, that could be the case. But I'm excited for it. I wish it wasn't so far away. But like I said, I think it's good we at least got 12 episodes. That's something, right? All right. Well, it looks like almost everybody has already dropped off. So I guess unless you have anything else, we might as well break until Wednesday. But please.
Next Wednesday.
Yes. For the first, we're going to do the premiere of Wednesday at 1. And then we will be back next Thursday at 11 for the second episode of Wednesday. And we'll start watch parties next week as well. All right. Well, I guess that is it. I will see you in about 15 minutes. I guess we'll see everybody in less than an hour. We'll see y'all. Hopefully you'll come back, and we'll talk to you then. And we're going to do a recap first of season 1 of Wednesday. So if you haven't watched season 2, you can still, any of season 2, you can at least stay for the beginning of it. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. See you at the next one.
Good night, everybody.